I think I had an idea for some kind of funny opening, but I clearly don't remember what it is. So let's just get into it. There's a
Was
big
it then?
mural. There's a big mural, guys.
Oh my god, it's Mural piece.
Yeah, we got a big mural. Wow, look at this. Well, I guess I don't need to read One Piece anymore because like Oda just gave us the ending and everything.
Um, okay, so I guess first we should probably cover the thing that happened that we were wrong about.
Yes, we are.
Kind of.
This was back in the first Bad One Piece opinion, so some of you might not know about this, but like said that in the scene in Skypiea during the Nolan Calgra flashback that when they're doing that ritual to sacrifice the lady to the snake, they bring up all the names of the gods, and we like insisted that the
But that
snake.
wasn't about Nika, because that doesn't make any sense. Because they're calling the snake all four gods. Lo and behold, I guess it was both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
And
also they turned
makes sense that like like it could be retroactively fitted into it by like
yeah.
yeah so like
Stupid
that's
fucking Shandians turned all four gods who fought on different sides across centuries into one fucking snake. I love them. They're
yeah,
my favorite. Also,
yeah.
I'm not going to question the rain god to sea god thing. That seems like a pretty natural. Like, the actual reason is probably just because Oda was doing retroactive foreshadowing, and he's like, no, sea god sounds way better than rain god. But,
But
like,
like
a
in
lore explanation could just be those are both water related. It makes sense that different cultures might call them different
yeah,
things.
this is one thing I've seen people talk about is that like like oh there's like some inconsistencies between these, but like they bring up in the story that like there's different interpretations of Nika, and because it's been so long and so much of the history's been erased, it like actually makes sense in universe for everyone to have like not be on the same page about like what the lore of the gods is. So like I don't think that's like a bad take or like a good criticism or whatever. uh
Yeah.
yeah. But like yeah. So there's a big mural. A lot of people have said this is like the best chapter in like the past like 10 years or something, which like is like probably a better version of what we don't like about the rocks chapter. uh
This one is definitely like a lot more exciting, at least.
yeah, because in the rocks one, just like, well, it's just like this is just like a straight info dump. It's not very exciting. When we get like when we actually get a God Valley flashback, no one's gonna care about this, and no one cares about that chapter anymore, which is proof. But like this is a fun way to like get a first glimpse into this. It's a fun thing, and it's probably gonna stick in our memory for a while. So if you want to call it the coolest chapter, go ahead. I disagree, but like whatever,
Yeah.
it's fine. Yeah.
And then the funny thing is, we got so many comments that are like, "We're so excited to see you guys make fun of all the bad mural theories." But the funny thing is, um, outside of like a few weird interpretations here and there, everyone seems to universally get the mural.
Yeah, like it, because again, it's literally like painted in broad strokes, and everyone kind of agrees what the broad strokes are.
Yeah, and getting into the nitty gritty is really hard because like people
It's
are
so
going through like
abstract.
five different translations
Yeah,
because we don't fucking speak Japanese.
yeah, again, like I don't really think there's any like bad theories about it yet, and like I know like theory channels are gonna milk this for like until the story ends probably.
Yeah, so like we'll get that one
But
eventually.
like this is, but that's kind of what you're supposed to do. Like I'd say like that's like this is
Yeah.
the most like theory bait thing One Piece has done in years, so I can't even blame them. So anyway, I suggested
Yeah.
in my notes here, I suggested that like we like go through what we think the interpretation of the mural and the lines are.
Yeah,
Uh,
which shocker is going to be pretty close to what everyone else
yeah, like I thought it would be
thinks.
like more fun because I thought like okay, here's our normal take, then here's
No,
the
but no,
goofy, but like no.
everyone kind of universally
Yeah,
agrees.
everyone kind of like there's a few things like oh we think maybe they're trying to dig up mother flames, but like that could be right or wrong. There's really no way to
Or just
say
a mother,
yet.
or it's just they're digging up an energy source.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
you
guess
know,
like one
that's it.
like I guess like one thing that like people are on the fence on is that some people think that the gods are going to be like real and literal while other people don't. And I think I prefer it if they aren't.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's just more fun.
Yeah, because like on one hand, like it's fun, like oh, like the same reason like devil fruits, like these things didn't exist till someone dreamed them into existence. I think that's more fun, and that the gods will exist through the fruits and
And
people's
thus,
imagination.
theoretically, we could get a fruit of every god.
Yeah. And I know like
But
some people actually brought up the fun possibility that there might be multiple Nika fruits because like what if we get like a I don't know like a dragon fruit model Nika or something like that and then just like
I think the joke I made is Loki has the Nika fruit, but it's spelled with a C.
oh that'd be funny. I think it'd be fun if he has a giant fruit model Nika like the
It's
giant
the
culture.
exact fucking same,
No,
but it's for
literally,
giant.
literally like it's just like giants have their own version of Nika and it's just Nika but he's a giant.
That sounds hilarious. No,
And like maybe he even
yeah,
embodies the more destructive aspects or like warrior aspects or something like that. Like
yeah.
maybe. Yeah. Uh
Other stuff, I don't know. It's fucking insane. The Arc Maxim is just there.
I know, like that's a big one.
Oh, one thing a lot of people don't really do with the like, what if you were trying to guess what the serpent is? And I agree that tying it to the red line makes sense. But one thing no one brings up is that it's the serpent of hellfire, and it's breathing fire in the fucking mural. So you gotta tie it to fire.
Yeah, no, like I think like my first impression, and I think this is the theory I like most is that like after digging so much, they caused some sort of like cataclysm or like a large earthquake or tectonic shift. Like they fucked around underground too much, and then that like resulted in like some sort of like eruption or earthquake, and which like people like mistaked or like people believed to be the act of God, like getting back at them for being too greedy
Yeah,
or
like
something.
it's possible the earth god raged means earthquakes, and then the serpent of hellfire is maybe similar to our ring of fire volcanoes in the real world. One Piece has a ring of fire of literal fucking volcanoes in circling the entire globe, and they all fucking went off.
Yeah, or
Because the
maybe
funny thing
the
is that would all. And what's funny is volcanoes leading to death and darkness is just accurate. There's historical accounts of volcanic eruptions so bad they block out the sun.
Yeah. So like again like maybe there was just literally a giant snake that like got angry and like
Oh no, that'd be
ran
fun
around.
too. That'd be fun too.
That would
I'm
be
not
fun too.
against giant snakes.
Yeah.
I'm all for giant snakes. Oh, one minor thing too is just people keep saying the snake and the dragon and the Mural are fighting. It's like, hey man, don't make assumptions. Maybe they are tag teaming the fuck out of the Arc Maxim. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh
Did we
okay,
really get like any bad Mural theories?
not really.
We got a
Oh,
couple weird ones, like someone who said the devils that the forest god sent out weren't devil fruits, but the devil powers Eam is using to counteract the evil devil fruit army.
it's
That
like
one was kind of weird.
I think that guy was inferring a bit too much about what was going on and getting way too
Yeah,
specific.
yeah. Like it's such an obvious assumption. Forest god made devils. Oh, what's something plant related we have that involves devils? Oh, devil fruit.
Oh,
Like I
I
feel
have
like
a
that's
note
just a
here.
safer assumption.
I have a note
What's
here
that?
that ties to what I talked about with like the earthquake stuff. Like, a fun possibility is that Emu or his predecessors or whoever was in charge of like the slavery back then kept causing natural disasters, and then like, like oh we dug too much, there's an earthquake, or oh I want to make devil fruit, so I'm gonna like make a devil fruit tree or something like that. And then like maybe after causing so much fucking up shit so much, and then people mistook those as acts of like gods or and stuff, and then and then eventually the god fruits would be born, and maybe those would be the keys to defeating Emu, which is like oh no, they came back around to bite me.
That could be
Uh-oh.
cute.
That could be a fun way. That could be a fun way to go.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute and fun.
All right,
I'm
now
sure more people aren't bringing up the fact that now that the gods are like literally confirmed as having lore, them having fruits is infinitely more likely.
and I'd say it's almost like inevitable now. Like we're
Yeah,
going to get an earth god fruit, we're going to get a rain god fruit or a sea god
yeah.
fruit.
Or
Uh
maybe like an approximate.
yeah. Anyway, you know what was probably the craziest thing anyone ever said about Mural Piece?
What was it?
It was O'Hara saying that the One Piece planet is a fake planet wrapped
Oh
around a
my
sun.
fucking god. He just said that.
I think he just kind of took the whole they're digging for like sun or like flame down there as like literally they're just like going into the earth and taking flame from the star that they built their planet around and then bringing it up, which that's a fun idea, O'Hara. That's a fun idea.
It is kind of just like I showed it to Chess and people, and they're like, "Damn, where the fuck did he get that?"
Yeah, where did he get that?
It's just him overreaching for fun.
Yeah.
Do I think it's remotely likely? Fuck no. Fucking God no. Holy shit, that's fucking absurd. But you know. cute, fun, dumb idea to over sensationalize during like heavy theory culture. So I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get mad at him for that one.
And I don't really
So
care.
this is another fun one he did. He thinks that Nika is the dragon in the mural, and then Emu killed the dragon and ate it to steal his dragon powers,
That
which
sure is spicy.
that's fun.
Oh
You
no,
know what?
that's because he thinks there's a general idea that Eam has the magical ability, the magical bloodline ability of being able to steal powers from things he eats, and then Blackbeard is his descendant who also inherited that power, which is like cool idea, I guess. Maybe Blackbeard ate something that doesn't sleep when he's a little kid, and now he's fucking stuck like that, I guess.
No, dude. This is what Ohara was really getting at. You see, Emu is like like future Rogue if future Rogue won.
That's funny.
He's a dragon slayer. He's a dragon slayer from Fairy Tail. That's what dragon slayers from Fairy Tail. Literally, we were introduced to a tribe of dragon slayers that eat dragons to gain their power. That's one thing they just do. Anyway, all right. What's next? Oh yeah.
Just like not even like again, I'm not even gonna judge him because like the dragon theory is like spicy enough to stand out from the crowd, but not insane enough that it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I can't look at the dragon theory and say that's not possible. I can just look at it and say I feel like there's probably more likely options.
Yeah, again, like there weren't. I thought like as soon as I saw them, I was like, oh, we're gonna have so many, bro. And then it's like, everyone's being this.
No, everyone's being pretty normal.
Yeah, this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. About like dragons is that this is a thing that you and I talked about a bit earlier. Is that sometimes when people like. Actually, you know what? This has nothing to do with One Piece. Let's move on. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So one thing we actually heard a bit in the past couple of weeks was people saying something along the lines of, "This explains why Moria got such a long arc."
Oh my god.
This explains why we went to Thriller Bark, guys. This is why we did it.
And Ohara, who's like, I'm gonna bring up Thriller Bark for theory, and the way he did it is he's like, Thriller Bark, which I know wasn't the greatest arc.
I'm sorry for bringing up Thriller Bark in my video, guys. I know it's not your favorite arc. Please let me talk about Thriller Bark first.
One Piece channels do that for like 5 arcs, where like whenever they bring it up, even if it's just to like bring up a thing that happened in it, they always have to preface it with, I know it's not great, which is like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Annoying. But no.
Also, Skypiea used to be one of those.
Yes, and no, people are turning Thriller Bark into Skypiea. They're trying to make it so Thriller Bark is like secretly the greatest foreshadowing of all time. Thus, it's good now, when before it was bad.
All right. So next
Actually, Puff, I deadass kind of hope that happens because like Puff, the radical shift in how people treat Skypiea is like obviously the way they talk about it's annoying, but the fact that Skypiea doesn't get regularly badmouthed is so fucking nice. I'd kind of like if that happened to Thriller Bark.
Yeah, like it. Like on one hand, I'm like, no, you're not appreciating it for the right reasons. It's like a masterful story being told, and you're only talking about the foreshadow. But like, you know what? I'll take it. They're not like bad mouthing it anymore just because it was like not in the blue sea. Up. Yeah, like I'm just imagining like if Enel was a warlord, would all your complaints go away? That's what it was like back in the day.
All right, what's next?
Next is So this is a weird thing to bring up, especially after I just dropped that Sanji Lunarian video. But Bleach and Fairy Tail kind of made me appreciate theory culture again.
Nice.
Yeah, like
well, Bleach is just because you watched a video that made you feel dumb, and then you sent it to me, and I thought, oh, I feel dumb, and then I showed it to Chas, and Chas is like, oh yeah, we're fucking stupid.
I know, it's just like, holy shit, he's just picking up on stuff that I didn't realize, and I forgot. That's kind of what Theorist was like 10 15 years ago. That's what it used to be about. And now and then also the Fairy Tail one, like we just saw some random video, it was like 4 minutes long of just like someone saying like
it was from like 60 sub Juvia channel.
Yeah, and it was just like, hey, I think Juvia's uncle was this character. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. It's like such a simple thing.
Well, she did basically the 2 types of like fun fandom theories are like unironic, fun, compelling readings at future events, or like trying to unpack mysteries that are intentionally left unsolved. And then the other is creating dumb, silly little theories that don't matter and will never get answered.
Yeah, like I'd say like
the
Pokemon
one was one of those.
Yeah, like I'd say, like Pokemon's a great example. Stuff like that. It's like I think most Pokemon theorists know that none of their stuff is gonna get canonized ever. It's just they're literally just having fun and trying to fill in blanks that are left by like the old games and stuff.
Yeah, it's just fun, cute little ideas.
Yeah. All right. So next is dude, do you remember our favorite Holy Knight?
Is it Goomko?
No, it's Momonga.
After
Momonga the Holy Knight, dude. We're gonna get a bunch of characters are gonna be like, if we're gonna learn that this guy used to be a Holy Knight or that this guy was always a Holy Knight secretly, and Momonga's gonna be one of them. Momonga, my boy, is gonna be relevant again. Trust me, trust.
God, that's so funny. Yeah, that's just phenomenal.
All right, now, all right. Next, this is a very quick one. Mihawk having red eyes foreshadowed Garling / Emu having a sword boy.
Fuck, what was the logic behind
The logic
that?
was like, oh, Mihawk has red eyes. Eam also has red eyes, meaning that Emu will probably have a swordsman working for them. And it's like, oh, wow. What a
That sure is a
sentence.
thing you said.
What a sentence. That one just stuck out to me and I wrote it down.
That one was just like, man, theorists kind of just say shit sometimes.
Yeah, all right. Next, we got Laboon bashing his head against the red line proves that it's not natural.
What?
Laboon bashing his head against the red line proves that it's not natural.
Oh yeah, someone did say that.
A few people said it actually, or like maybe it was the same channel. Yeah.
Because do people not remember why Laboon is bashing his head against the red line?
Well, I mean, I remember we learned that sometimes island males will just do that to strengthen themselves.
But yeah, no, it makes sense to say that about maybe regular island whales. Like there's some innate like desire to travel in a certain direction that they can't do anymore. But saying it about Laboon is insane because Laboon is such a fucking unnatural creature. He doesn't move in pods. He stays in one spot. He bashes his head against a mountain because he wants to meet his skeleton friend. And the inside of him is literally fucking metal, and an old man lives in there on his house island.
Like, all right, I feel like on one hand, like if the red line was artificial and it's like fucking up with whales' migration patterns to the point they're bashing their head against it, that'd be fun retroactively. But like to people to go so far as say like this is proof, this is definitive proof. Yeah, I disagree. That's all. That's all. All right. Next, this is the comment from the main channel.
Ooh, I love main channel stuff.
So it was about my egghead video. And this was kind of interesting because it made me think for a second. And he said, I don't think Saturn, or at least I don't think the Gorosei, or at least Saturn, isn't apathetic. I think Saturn was driven by spite, and that was his main motivation for the arc.
Saturn was definitely spiteful towards Kuma. Saturn hated Kuma.
Yeah, like, yeah, no, like, definitely. Like, oh, how dare he do that? But, like, I always thought that was just, like, because he's racist, he already hates this kid, and then this kid just caused trouble later on. Like, he's not like, you know, like, or I must kill Kuma. Like I think like his whole thing is like, I care about Eam and his order and I gotta do what I gotta do, but fuck this Kuma kid. I think like he brought up stuff like the smear campaigns and like he intentionally tried to destroy Kuma's reputation, and it was like, but like I thought that was like the other king, like trying to get it back into power. Like I thought it was like they didn't want a buccaneer, they'd rather have that guy as king instead of a buccaneer. Yeah. So like they like it tried to dethrone Kuma that way.
Well, I would say overall that's definitely the world's plan, but you could say on top of that, Saturn also has like extra beef. Well, I think an example would be like if a celestial dragon met Fisher Tiger. They're already racist, but also on top of that, it's this fucking guy.
Yeah, like it's just like they're already like predisposed to hate this guy and his group, and it's just like, oh, I hate this guy in particular because he extra rebelled against us.
He actually did things.
Yeah. All right. Next. Oh, this is something you said. A Straw Hat candidate theory has not been right for 13 years.
Yeah, because that's when Fishman Island ended.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, to be fair, Dressrosa happened, and, like, Dressrosa is, like, kind of true because of the Grand Fleet.
No, that's fucking dumb. Don't grant them that. Don't grant
Why not?
Them that.
I mean, like, that's still 10 years, man.
Because they're wrong, and also it's infinitely funnier to say it has been well over a decade since a Straw Hat candidate theory was right, and we're still fucking popping out of your.
What if my theory? What if my theory was Yamato will not be a Straw Hat?
Well, then you were right. Good job. But
Thank
that's
you.
Not what I mean.
Bam.
That's more so an anti thing. But no, that would only work if you actually had a different Yamato theory.
No, 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 no. I think it's that like I think my theory is that Yamato's a red herring. That's my theory.
Uh, Also, people. Well, but Yamato wasn't a red herring because that implies there was someone else who was going to join the crew in his stead, and that didn't happen. Like Paulie was a red herring for Frankie. Who was Yamato a red herring for?
Uh, Jinbei. No,
No.
no, no, no. Sorry, I forgot. Jinbei like reappeared before Yamato's introduction. Fuck, I can't say that.
So no. Anyway, um, just funny, and like we're doing it again. I've seen several people say Loki's going to join the Straw Hats, which, unless his devil fruit can let him shrink, has a pretty fucking glaring flaw.
It'd be funny if he can fly somehow, and he just like flies after the sunny all day, every day for the rest of his
And
life.
currently, the best Straw Hat theory is that Vivi's going to rejoin by like a mile and a half. That's the best theory.
That kind of seems like what they're building to.
Yeah.
All right. Next, this is something you also pointed out. And because like it was weird because I don't think theory channels have ever brought this up. The poneglyph that the man marked by flames has presumably was the poneglyph from Fishman Island that Rogers and Odin saw in their flashback.
Yes, because let's timeline this. All right. We know that Roger saw the one in Zoe. We know that Roger is at least familiar with Wano. We know that Roger had to break into Big Mom's territory to get hers, and we know he got one from Fishman Island. And also the Wano one seems pretty historical. Yeah. Thus, and several years later, the Zoe, Wano, and Whole Cake Island ones have not moved.
Yeah.
So,
but Fishman Island, yeah. The thing is, there's two poneglyphs on Fishman Island in Roger and Odin's flashback, but one of them's gone now. Yeah, like when Robin got there was only one.
Yeah, the road poneglyph is gone.
So, a lot of people theorize that like the final poneglyph is on Elbaf, or like it used to be on Elbaf, and someone like from Elbaf took it away. But like it seems like it unless it went from Fishman Island to Elbaf, which seems a little less likely than someone just took it out of Fishman Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even then, like another possibility is that like they say that someone keeps making like whirlpools. So whoever this man marked by flames is keeps making whirlpools to like defend his ship. That could be a fishman doing fishman karate stuff.
That's a fun idea.
That's like very possible.
Speaking of which, fuck Scopper, I'm about to cook. Smoker's the man marked by flames. All right. Here's why I'm right. Do not take this theory seriously. This is bullshit. But when we re-saw Smoker, what was he doing? He was he was biking across the sea with a cube wrapped in something chained behind him. Wow, that's fucking weird. I only know one important thing in One Piece that's that shape. And then, what else do we know about the man marked by flames? He has a full black ship. Okay, how does Smoker do that? Simple. He coats himself in, because his bike isn't that big, he just does full hockey coating. Obviously.
It'd be funny if he just did that and like rammed it straight through someone else's ship.
And then how does he make whirlpools? That's easy. He coats his smoke in hockey and then just spins it over the top of water really fast.
Yeah, because that's how it works.
Or maybe his new fancy motorbike can do it.
Vegapunk made this.
Lastly, I understand that the actual translation is like man with a burn scar, but can we pretend that's not true for a second? Okay. Man marked by flames. What's a mark of fire? Oh, where there's smoke, there's fire. Would you look at that? Smoker is the man marked by flames.
We cracked the code, boys! We cracked the code! Oh, man. Hold on. I'm going to confer with my aunt who has a psychic link with Oda.
Nice. Oh, also, by the way,
Yo, dude,
our biggest concern with Scopper is that he would be Rayleigh 2, and he's not Rayleigh 2, so thank fucking God.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, in case anyone hasn't noticed by my incessant coughing and terrible voice, I am a sick man.
You are a sick man. You've always been a sick man.
I've been sick for like over a week. Anyway.
All right. Next, this is kind of this is a thing I'm sad about, because do you know a channel called Gaijin Goomba?
Yeah, I know Gaijin Goomba. They're like an OG. They used to like align with game theory a lot.
Yeah, and I remember when like we were like 20 chapters into Wano, they made a One Piece Wano video about like all like the like basically about all the Japanese references and culture that like would go over most people's heads. And I remember like they said there's so much that we didn't even get to all of them in this whole video, just the first 20 chapters. And I remember like the thing that stuck out to me most was like they went to the big spread, like, you know, of Wano, like welcome to Wano, and that big spread, and it's like, all right, now I know all of you noticed the giant cherry blossom tree, but if you look in the bottom left corner of the panel, that's just a recreation of a very important temple from like mid-eastern Japan. And then they like did that to like 4 other buildings in the spread. I'm like, oh my god, he referenced like 4 other real life buildings and no one noticed, but this guy did. And then I remember the video ended with, I'm gonna wait for Wano to end and then I'm gonna do everything. And, you know, 7 years later, nah, nothing. Nada.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no! I was looking forward to that video at some point. Gah!
Making sure he's not problematic now. He made a video on the new Ghost of Yotei Tsukishima trailer, and it seems like he didn't complain about a black man, so I think we're good.
Good sign.
From what I can tell.
Alright, next, so we all remember why Shanks was crying in the Odin flashback, right?
Well, it technically is a mystery because he came right back from.
No, it's not.
No, it technically is.
No, it's not. We know that he was crying because he learned that he's a celestial dragon and Roger wasn't his real father.
Okay, no, here's the weird thing about that. I assumed the reason was because Roger told Shanks, hey, I'm cooked. I'm so gonna die. But the thing is, like, it technically is treated like a mystery because it's something he told Shanks right after reaching the One Piece. But, like, everyone's acting like the answer is he told Shanks about his family. But here's the thing. What's the connection there? Ah, yes, of course. What would Shanks do right after finding the One Piece? What would Roger do right after finding the One Piece? Of course, tell Shanks that he's a celestial dragon. What? It's Shanks crying that badly is really funny to imagine because it's just like, hey Shanks, I'm not your dad, and Shanks is like, no! You and Rayleigh didn't give birth to me.
No, Scupper, they're lying, right? I'm sorry. Rayleigh didn't give birth to you. You weren't carried in his womb for 9 months.
And Buggy is fucking cackling in the corner. Because it's like, guys, I think Shanks knew that he wasn't genetically related to anyone on the crew. And then, like, I guess what it would be, he's crying because his blood family's evil. But, like, I imagine someone raised on the Roger pirate ship probably doesn't care that much about how evil your blood family is.
Honestly, I imagine, based on what we know about Shanks' character, something like that would kind of roll off and be like, well, that kind of sucks, but oh well. And then he'd move on. Like maybe when he was younger,
he at least went to investigate it. So
I know, but like that could have been for like any number of reasons. Maybe he was just curious about like his old family, or maybe like it had something to do with like what Roger told him. Maybe he learned something about the true history.
Maybe he was doing some infiltration.
Or maybe he was the guy in the room with the Gorosei saying, "I want to talk about a certain pirate." Maybe that was Shanks and not his brother Shamrock. That's still possible.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, there's a lot of things we don't know.
Yeah. But it's just a lot of people insisting about like an unlikely possibility, which kind of bugs us because we watch too many One Piece videos.
Oh, it's been confirmed.
I know. It just bothers us because we watch too much One Piece YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. Next is why didn't Big Mom kill Zeff?
Oh my fuck.
Why didn't Big Mom kill Zeff?
Hey, what did Big Mom do right after Whole Cake Island?
She tried to kill Luffy, like chased after him.
Yeah, and then what'd she after that? Oh, she called up one of her old friends and said, "Yo, bitch, I'm stopping by." And then her friend said, "Don't," and then she did anyway. And then Wano happened.
I know. So it's just like, all right, she like hell bent on. Like, I know, like people point to that scene of like that guy coming to the tea party saying, "Oh, Big Mom killed my father. Oh, that sucked." Well, it's just like, well, she wanted this guy at the tea party still. Like she invited him twice. So clearly, even though like she was mad at him the first time, he was like, "Hey, but I still want you to come to my tea party, bro," and not "I want to kill you, bro." Like, as she probably wants to kill Luffy with her own hands. And also, this is the thing most people forget: it was the Germa threatening to kill Zeff. It was Judge threatening to do it, not Big Mom. From Big Mom's perspective, Big Mom probably maybe didn't even know about the drama going on in Judge's family. That's
No, and Puff, you know what's hilarious to imagine?
what.
Judge leaving Whole Cake Island is like, we're gonna get that fucker Zeff. And then a day later, he reads a newspaper, and it's like, Luffy, fourth emperor, fifth emperor of the sea, and he's like, all right, so we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I can confirm, we're not doing that.
Also,
That's
like,
a bad idea.
also, like, they kind of acknowledge that they owed Sanji one. Like, at the end of Whole Cake,
Yeah.
that's why they help him get out of Cacao Island.
At least like Niji and his brothers did.
I know, but like at the least, I imagine like Judge's pride wouldn't let him do that because it's like, I got saved by that thing. I can't like do that to him now, or else I'll look petty and pathetic.
Yeah.
I hate
Which
that
I'm
Sanji.
definitely not.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, that's it. Just it's not that weird. What's next?
Next is all right. Rox's sister was Garling's sex slave.
It's just a Garp and Dragon theory, but for someone else.
Yeah.
They want Shanks and Shamrock to be related to Rox for whatever reason. I don't really care. No, because they want that to be the thing Rox is trying to save on God Valley, because everyone is hell-bent on making Rox a good person. When the thing that was stolen from God Valley was called the Treasure of God Valley, which I guess pirates are the type of people
The
to call
treasure
a woman
wasn't it the treasure of Beehive?
Oh yeah, Treasure Beehive, my bad. Which pirates are the type of people to describe a woman that way. But also, I don't think they would. I feel like at least once the fact that it is a human woman would have been like at least hinted at. Whereas like they're calling it a treasure.
I mean,
they
I
stole
guess
a
like
thing.
it's possible. Like, who knows? Like,
I just have.
I just think it's funny how like again it's the whole like people want there to make like drama by having someone fuck someone else's sister. They're just switching to Shamrock and Rox now instead of who was it last time?
I guess it was. I think it was either Garp or Dragon.
Yeah, it was Garp or Dragon. Yeah.
And then like I guess the one big defender is there is a suspicious thing about Shamrock, and that is he doesn't hold the title Saint. Back when Garling was the head of the Holy Knights, he did hold the title Saint. So Garling, so like Shamrock being like a bastard or something could be an explanation for that. That's definitely possible.
I'm like not sure how I feel about that though, because like we know God's Knights have authority to punish other celestial dragons.
It's never outright stated, but even then, we know the leader can, and yeah, the leader being a bastard would also kind of complicate that.
Yeah, because
So,
like again, it'd be really hard to imagine the celestial dragons who care so much about their blood purity and all that to let a bastard be the one have executioner rights over them. Like
so
that, I find that
basically,
incredibly hard to imagine.
Or like a half blood. Basically, it's trying to figure out how it is that Shamrock is both able to hold this esteemed title without being considered a saint. I think that's actually interesting. That or Oda forgot to write saint, and then he will later, and we're all fucking stupid.
yeah, that's possible. Okay, this is one really weird thing someone said for Mural piece. Minks are from the moon.
Oh, they just said that. Wasn't that AnimeBallsDeep? They just said that.
Yes, it was AnimeBallsDeep.
Moon races, and they're like the Skypeans, which is
Lunarians.
Like, probably true. And then the Minks. It's like what? I think the joke you made is Minks living on the moon is they look down once and then they enter Perma Sulong and die.
Like things, the idea of like I don't know, like I guess like basically the idea of like werewolves coming from the moon is like kind of fun. It was like, oh, they used to always be beastly and stuff. They like Sulong used to be the normal form
and, like,
until they left and got nerfed.
Weird, and like we saw those weird cyborg people on the moon, and some looked like animals, but also some looked like humans. So that's not really a good point.
And like the thing is, like when people are in Sulong for too long, they start dying. So like that really complicate things. But like maybe like Minx just got cringe over time. Maybe
it's your proximity to the moon. If you're really close to the moon, Sulong's not dangerous at all, man.
Oh wow, okay, that's convenient.
I promise, it makes sense. I promise. Just funny. I don't think there's any evidence that Minks, especially because Minks say they're another type of human, which heavily implies they're from the same place humans are from.
Yeah, again, like if they didn't even pose this as a theory, they just said this was what was up, and I was like, what?
Which AnimeBallsDeep with more. It's like
excuse me. All right. Okay, I forget who said this, but someone said Nami's abnormally tanky, so she must be a hockey master and a Kujan.
Okay, yeah. So someone was trying to prove that Nami. This is a cool channel that we kind of respect. Their whole thing is trying to tie really early One Piece to late One Piece. Like they thought Kuro was from CP9. They thought Don Krieg was from the Chin was like part of the Don Chinjiao family. All like definitely not true, but funny and cute,
That's
so I don't
cute.
care.
That's cute.
But the Nami one is so funny because it's like Nami by One Piece human standards is not above average.
No. Yeah,
Like
the
the hits
example
that she
you
eats are superhuman compared to us, but compared to One Piece humans, like what I always bring up is
yeah, I was about to
Spandam
say.
is objectively weaker than the average Marine soldier. Do you remember all of the bullshit Spandam
He
survived?
got an elephant thrown on him, and then his back got snapped in two.
And he's
Also,
chilling.
an explosion went off in his face, and he was
Yeah.
like kind of fine after that.
Yeah, so Spandam's a fucking monster, and he's weaker than everyone else.
Yeah, I don't think like bringing up how tanky people are can ever be proof of anything unless it's like I think this character's a Lunarian because they tanked a hit from Kaido and just brushed it off. It's like okay,
Or you point out that
hey,
Mercury has the best durability in the series.
yeah.
That's just fun to point out because it's true.
It is
Which, oh
true.
yeah, that's a minor thing. Everyone's like, ooh, is Garling the strongest God's Knight? And, or like the strongest Gorosei? In last video, I foolishly said, yeah, probably. No, 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 no. Warfury, of course, he has war in his name, and he has the highest durability. But what I forgot is he's from the top man.
Yes,
He's the top man. He's the strongest one.
No, I'm just imagine Eames saying, "I need my top man on this. Send Warfury.
Yeah.
I need my top man on this."
Also, isn't he like the god of like battle or something? Like his
I
name
think he
actually
was.
ties to fighting.
I think he
Yeah.
was. I might be wrong because like I don't remember them too
But
well.
I'm pretty sure he was.
All I
I'm
remember
gonna
is
stand right.
Venus Juro is the accountant. That's all I remember for
That's because
sure.
it's funny. Warrior god of justice. Okay. So either he's a legal nerd or he likes killing and fighting people.
All right. Next is Anime's Balls Deep doesn't know what the Crusades are.
Okay, it was a very funny one. They were talking about the Crusades, and they're like, "Oh yes, dude, the gods' knights defending the Holy Land is like the Crusades, even though the Crusades are the Crusaders, one, not defending, raiding, and two, failing spectacularly."
Yeah, like a crusade is a crusade when you're offensively attacking someone else's like shit.
Yeah, like there were, I believe, 8 or maybe 7 crusades, and only one was a success, and that's when they stole Jerusalem, and then they lost it after. And then half of the other crusades are like, "Give it back," and then they never got it back.
Yeah,
The
that is like
crusades are
funny.
fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, I know it's kind of fun. It's like they want the aesthetics. Like if they just want to say that they copy the aesthetics of this group and stuff, like that's fine.
Yes.
But like they talked about the Crusades and just like described it wrong, which was just funny. All right. Next is Morj actually like made like a. I almost said decent video, but like I feel like it could have been a lot better.
Morj does this a lot. He does these weird videos where he frames them as analysis, but they're not analysis. They're power scaling.
Well, the thing is, I think he was actually onto something interesting, but like ended up just like. I think it's because he made a stupid graph and like worked backwards from there.
Oh, his
But
stupid fucking the graph is utter nonsense.
so like basically this whole thing is that like the larger a gap is between like the captain of a crew and like their left and right hands implies how much like freedom the crew has. So like say Kaido and Big Mom way stronger than Katakuri and King, therefore their crews have very little freedom, whereas Luffy, Zoro and Sanji are pretty close to Luffy, so that crew has a decent amount of freedom. And then the Rocks Pirates, they're all a bunch of like monsters, so like it's all chaotic, no one's in charge or anything like that. And it's like
Yeah.
on one hand, like you're kind of onto something, but like I feel like framing it around strength is just wrong because I
Around
think
power scaling because this is just his like millionth the monster trio is real, god damn it videos.
It's just that like what's really happening is that like there's no camaraderie in this crew, but there is in the Straw Hats. Because
No,
like
that's his thing. Like he acted like the problem with Rox's crew is that it had more freedom than Luffy's. No, the problem isn't that they had more freedom. It's that they all fucking hated each other.
yeah, I know exactly. There was no camaraderie there, and like I remember the thing is, this is one thing that I thought would be in the video, but he excluded was Blackbeard's crew, because like Blackbeard like is kind of like modeling his crew, like I assume he's modeling crew after Rocks, because like
Well, he started to model it after Whitebeards, but it seems like it might slowly shift from Whitebeards to Rox's. And like there's interesting ways that could happen. Like maybe one of Teach's OG men, he just like casually replaces them with someone stronger.
yeah, like
in,
they
a
like
heartbeat.
Burgess gets power clipped, and then he just replaces him for someone new. Like that could happen.
I think the joke I made is Burgess dies and then and then he replaces him with Anel. He found Anel.
Well, anyway, I think it's interesting because like Blackbeard's like, yeah, none of us are friends here. We're all just using one another, and like that kind of sounds like what could have easily happened with the Rocks pirates. Like, yeah,
Yes.
we're just here to get because like they described it as like a bunch of pirates got together for a get rich quick scheme. So it's like, all right, we're all gonna work together for this fucking heist, and then that'll be it. We'll work together to get the big heist, to get the big money, and
Honestly,
then that's it. We're just here for the big
video
money.
kind of annoyed me because he brought up the very interesting fact about the Straw Hats, which is they aren't ranked at all. Like the obvious example of that is Zoro is not the official vice captain, first mate, blah 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 blah. He just happens to fulfill that role because Luffy doesn't rank his friends, and he's not giving Zoro that fucking title.
Yes, and like in the, I guess this is kind of a hole in this here. Like, what about like Law's crew? Like Law is like one of the top 50 strongest guys on the planet, and then like Beppo is like, and then Beppo's like what like I don't know, top 200, 300.
No, I guess his point there would be Law has other things preventing him from being a good Pirate
like,
King Emperor candidate, so he can't even begin to have the. But also, that's stupid and doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because it's not about how much like how strong they are, and that controls how much freedom they have. Like the captain controls how much freedom there is.
Yeah, no, because
that's up to
honestly,
the crew and their
just
dynamics.
Morj doing broad strokes and kind of taking interesting concepts, but then just using them to try and power scale, and it's fucking annoying.
You know, and it's like I was kind of excited like when we were halfway through the video, because like I like when Morj makes good videos, and he's kind of coming to interesting ground here, and then like he kind of like ended up like being a little disappointed.
Oh, I am gonna argue with one thing though. He had the fucking gall to say there is no panel in the Water 7 saga to imply Luffy is much stronger than Zoro and Sanji. There is a scene when Luffy is fighting Lucci, and it's one of my favorite Luffy lines, where Lucci's like, "Go save your friends, pussy," and Luffy's like, "I can't. If I am not fighting you, you will go and kill all of them."
And another thing, like this also has to do with Lucci. If you guys remember in Egghead, Lucci fought both Luffy and Zoro, and I think we can pretty confidently say Luffy is a good deal stronger than Lucci, and Zoro is closer to Lucci's level than he is Luffy's.
At least for now. Obviously, that'll
You
change.
can't beat me, Rob Lucci. Wheeze,
No, because I think Egghead, I think Water 7 made it pretty clear that yes, Zoro and Sanji had an easier time with their opponents than Luffy did because Luffy's opponent was stronger. But also, like you make, oh well, of course Lucci would kill Zoro and Sanji. They're injured. Luffy doesn't know that. All we're hearing is Luffy basically saying, "This cat motherfucker can slaughter my whole crew, so I have to beat him."
And to be fair, Luffy could be an unreliable narrator, and he's wrong. Maybe if Zoro and Sanji teamed up, they can beat Lucci. Like, who cares? But like, that is like a scene that kind of implies that Luffy at least thinks that he's a good deal stronger than Zoro and Sanji.
Yes, and also, easy one. No one else on fucking Thriller Bark could have beat Moria. That's for fucking sure.
Oh no! Black Box, Shadows Asgard, Punch. Everyone but Luffy dies.
I think we've said this like 100 times, but yeah, Bat Box is faster than Gear 2, so Zoro and Sanji can't dodge it. And then Moria punches the shit out of you, and then you die.
Yeah, you know, you literally like guys, like come on.
Yeah, you die. You die.
Zoro was weaker than Moria.
The unbeatable.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Okay, next is who gives a fuck? Let's go to comments. Okay.
Okay, first comment. Can't wait for years of shit Mural theories, and this channel will complain about it. I think as time goes on, mural theories will get worse.
That's
Um,
possible.
the mummy theory was from Civ. His theory was saying that the Holy Knights are gonna have. Yeah, we agreed with that. Whatever. I think the Atom trees on the other islands could be stems of the Elbaf tree. Um,
That's a little
maybe.
weird because they'd have to go
I
like all the way underwater and then like pop out on another island, which
Especially because like we don't know how far away the other atom trees are. I like the theory that the tree on Chopper's timeskip island is a mini atom tree. I think that's a fun idea.
that is a cute idea. Yeah.
It's sad there's so many racists in One Piece. Thank God my goat Don Krieg respects all backgrounds. I fucking wish, but no, Krieg is definitely racist.
Yeah, no, like, listen, and I love my boy Krieg, but, like, it would not surprise me at all if he said, a fish man? In this bar? Yuck. Ew. I don't want a fish man cooking my food. Ew.
um, Someone commented that there was an atom tree on Tesoro's ship. Is that true?
That'd
Am I
be
stupid?
interesting
If
if that
that's
was
true,
true.
knowledge gap that every theory channel and also a lot of other people fucking miss because I don't remember that. Next, me holding on to the theory that the giant jack comes from a bigger tree extending his branches through the skies. No, I want it to just be an oversized fucking beanstalk. I want that so badly. Do fairy tale power bottom, good for you. Let's see here. Someone pointed out that Sandman is a rage baiting freak. We have Kubo drawing Bleach chapters on YouTube. He doesn't have assistants or draws most of it. Well, that's because you don't get to see the cleanup process. Like you are just straight up missing things.
That is true,
Um
yeah.
oh, this is a funny one. I need to correct you because you would rather throw insults than Google alert. Shamrock is the three-leaf clover. I know. I
Yes.
know what a
Yes.
shamrock is. Next.
Yes.
It literally has three in its name, and Shanks is younger, aka he is the four-leaf clover. What? What?
Um,
His name makes perfect sense as the third child, and Shanks being the four-leaf equals good luck equals Roger found him. What? Okay, also none of that makes sense because I was replying to us making fun of a theory that said Shamrock's name represents the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thus, Shamrock is a triplet. I don't think I need to
yeah, no.
explain
Yeah,
how
no.
the reasoning there doesn't track.
The Jesus is not in a set of triplets with with God. He is the son of God.
No, no, you want to know what the actual Shamrock thing is, Puff? And a commenter pointed this out.
What?
Okay, Shamrock's name association is 3, and his sword turned into a fucking Cerberus. There you go.
Yeah, okay. That is a lot stronger than going to the Father, Son, Holy Ghost for a pair of triplets.
If anything, I think the various white hair, red eye characters could imply a connection between human evolution throughout time. Well, I mean, if we're going to pretend that One Piece applies to the laws of reality, the fact that all of the different, like, we literally call them different races, because, they can all breed with each other. We're all pretty, even though they all look insane, they are, if we pretend One Piece is scientific, they would have to all be fairly genetically similar because they
Yeah.
can all mate. Which, like, I don't think One Piece is ever going to get into that. But I
Who
think it's
knows?
funny listening to them trying to say Harujin. All right, that's it. I'm looking up. That's it. That's fucking it. Fine. I'll check how to say his name. God damn it. Fuck you. All right. Romanized name Hyrudin. Oh, it's Hyrudin. Wow, that's fucking easy. Okay. All right, his name's Hyrudin. Oops.
Ah, cool.
Anyway, um, let's see here. Anything else? Um, Nami beating up Luffy for terrorizing kids is bad because that's not Yonko. Like, people do that all the time. Anytime Nami demeans Luffy, there's a court of people who are like, yo, no emperor should let someone treat him like that.
Well, guys, I thought you liked gags. I thought you read One Piece because you liked comedy. What
No,
happened?
anyone who says that is definitely a hype beast.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Oh, and then we have someone being a puff the worst, the subset of people that are like, now I won't say racist things about real groups, but I'll say them about fictional groups. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
We got one of those in a comment chain. We're just like the fishmen
Awesome.
are like monkeys. Which isn't any different than people that talk about like the Avatar movies and are like, we need to mow down and exterminate the blue people. It's like, all right, I get it. The racism isn't racist because it's not real. Let's see here. Anything else? Oh, yo, it's the Daffy Duck guy.
Yo.
To clarify my comment about Pell, I think it's inevitable that the formula is going to apply to some characters people just don't care about because not every character is going to be liked by everyone. I found Pounds and Kumas very touching, but I'm indifferent to Pell because I didn't connect with him when I read Alabasta. That's what we said. The problem with Pell is that his death is just him doing what he's always done, which is be stoic protector boy. So it
Yeah.
only has weight if he actually dies. If he comes back in a non-emotional way, it's like, well, who gives a shit? Why did this happen? Um, let's see here. I don't think I can disrespect the formula in one scene and respect it in another. You can just break down why it worked for you in one and not the other.
Yeah, like
I think what
you could
adds.
explain why a trope works in one context and not another. Like,
Oh, also Kuma. I didn't think Kuma was dead. Um, I think what adds to the story is the depiction that even death, what we can understand to be absolute in one braille, sometimes loses when great men are doing great things. Yeah, I think that's fair.
yeah.
I think that is done very well sometimes.
Yeah, like let's say Luffy gets stabbed in the side and there's a chunk in his stomach, but he can still fight on. Like, sure, you could be like,
All
well,
right.
scientifically, Luffy should be dead. It's like, yeah, okay, sure, but also it's really fucking cool that he's muscling through all the pain like Whitebeard did.
One more. Okay, here's another one. Here's why I'm on board with Paw Vivi. I think she could use it to be a great chief of staff. What? An
Chief of
egghead.
Staff.
Someone comments that Luffy has to consider his position as an emperor, but Luffy doesn't want these kind of responsibilities because he's a king, which is why he tells the fleet he doesn't want to be a big shot. But Vivi has gotten Luffy to embrace diplomacy before. She has, in the very pathetic sense of Luffy, when one of your crewmates needs immediate medical attention, don't fucking throw hands with the locals. What is wrong with you? You dumbass.
Yeah, and if anything, that kind of just ties back to what Shanks tried to teach him. It's like, listen, you don't have to fight everyone just because you feel like it,
Right.
Luffy. Pick your
Are
battles.
known for being great. Let's see here. Basically,
Your
it's
friends are
basically.
more important.
I don't think this is a really good point at all because it's basically just like, oh, Vivi could blip around to the Grand Fleet to talk with them, but it's like, yeah, Vivi could also call them on the transponder snail. um,
Yeah, well, the thing is, like,
we
it
got
is like a.
we got multiple comments asking about my fucking Crystar gameplay, which is really funny. Um, I
Huh.
can't wait to hear your takes about chapter 1138. All right. I think yeah, I already told them this, Puff. But I was the first one to read the chapter in our Discord, and you can probably put it on screen if you can find it. But my exact words were, "Oh my fucking god, it's fucking real."
Yep. Yep. I remember. I was like,
um,
"Oh no, we have to make an addendum in the opening of One Piece." Bad Boy Spinning this week. Oh
I
no.
think that Moria is an Oni like Kaido, and when Oda said onion human, he meant Oni but wanted to make a pun. No, he called Moria an onion human because Moria looks like a fucking onion. um,
I mean,
I
like,
don't
I
think
guess,
this is
like,
a bad.
if Oni is a real race, Moria may be one of them. Like,
Although it's
sure.
super unclear again if Oni is a race or just something Kaido was called.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a bad opinion, but I'm curious what your thoughts on this are. In Twitter, I've seen a section of the community have a poor opinion of Senior Pink in his flashback, saying that it's trying to portray him as the victim, even though everything that happened to him is his own fault and people overplay the tragedy. I think you could say fans overplay the tragedy, but I think the flashback makes it very clear that he is to blame, and part of the reason he wears the like baby outfit is like to repent.
Yeah, it's atonement. Like, it being like, this is the only way I can make her happy, so I will wear this and nothing else, despite whatever anyone says.
You know, like if they just treat it as like, oh, this poor, sad, tough man. His wife doesn't like that he's evil. Oh, he has that. Oh, that's so unfair. But no, they treat it as like he's pretty clearly in the wrong. Someone referenced the meme you sent me, Puff, and said the ZZZ characters could solve the JJK verse. I fucking wish, but no, they don't scale that high yet. I wish. I can't wait for
What,
that
you're
day.
telling me
Um,
that one, like, anime babe with, like, I don't know, like the blonde hair bodyguard lady who I'm seeing everywhere
oh,
now?
Evelyn. Yeah, yeah, that's because she's in the
See, I
current anime. I
I, I
told you like 3 days
accidentally
ago.
didn't call the game Zui Mama Zactronic Zagarde and called it its actual name instead, and Discord heard, and now it's on my Twitter feed
Or
now.
Puff, counterpoint. I like Zenless art because I play Zenless, and even worse, people who doesn't play Zenless also like Zenless art.
Yeah,
So
you
I think
know.
we're flooding your feed.
Uh,
Next, oh yeah,
Send
someone
more
pointed out
Jane
that we
Doe.
when we were
Send more of the rat girl my way. Jane Doe. Yeah, they send her more
he
of her.
sends those to me.
She's
And
good.
then someone pointed out something fair, which is just when we were talking about hybrids, we straight up forgot about Dellinger, which is just funny. We just fucking forgot.
Yeah, Dellinger sure is a little hybrid boy, isn't he?
Someone brought up an actual fair paneling take, which is they said I've been looking, and One Piece over time has gotten more cramped. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
No,
Like,
One Piece's paneling has objectively gotten more cramped.
yeah, like for the
I'm
like
never gonna argue that.
before Egghead, we didn't have a full double page spread since like Dressrosa. Like that's a
Yeah,
very
there's just roses. Yeah.
long period to go without having one. And sure, there are other spreads and ones that could come close, like Zunisha and
Zunisha.
Zo.
Yeah.
But like again, like the fact that we didn't get a single like big clear one for like two like over like 300 almost 400 chapters is like a pretty like noticeable significant
Crazy.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the thing is, like, when we talk about paneling, we just talk about how people will just show a page with more than 6 panels, and say, this is cluttered, it's bad, and not explain themselves, which is annoying.
It is annoying.
Oh no, Puff, we got a Chibi review comment. Regarding the Chibi comment, it's not about Wither blocking Horikoshi's a sign of mental illness, but that Chibi has a personal history of beef with these people that leads to him view the... I understand Chibi gets, like, doxxed and threatened all the time, but also, I got recommended Chibi Reviews tweet for the first time in months, and it's him racist baiting. So, like, he's picking these fights, and he really shouldn't.
Yeah, it's like,
like
I don't ever want to
you
like...
can't be like, I'm a victim, and then make videos being like, they wanted to cancel me. And then you look at what he's tweeting, and he's like, dude, people aren't going to be able to handle this epic line. And then it's like, intermingling of the racist is inherently bad. And it's like, dude, you're baiting. Don't bait if you don't want people to get mad at you.
Yeah, I think like if we ever do bad Chainsaw Man opinions, we're probably gonna talk about him like a good
because
deal.
we've seen
He has a
few of
handful.
his...
He has a handful.
He's Puff. We literally Puff. The way he talked about the last Chainsaw Man chapter is why we added the Kendrick button to the soundboard.
Can you?
He's literally why we added it. Yeah, because he was saying so much insane shit that chapter review.
Oh man.
Next, Puff. Regarding your One Piece character, also again, it's also very funny that Chibi is a grown-ass man because he's had bad experiences with parts of a fan base. He'll call any random gay teenager he sees mentally ill. He did that with the Chainsaw Man video too, Puff. Some guy said, "Can you even read, you dingus? Denji's more than just a horny idiot." And he's like, "These are the people that doxed me. These are the people that want me dead." It's like, God, he called you dumb.
And then the end of the video is like, I think there is more going on here than Denji just being horny, guys. Let's remember. So wait, you agree with him? You agree with him then?
He was wrong.
You agree with him then?
So basically, Chibi Reviews is just a weird little guy.
Things I don't ever want to like again, getting doxxed sucks to hell and back.
Objectively, unbelievably horrible things have happened.
I know, like terrible things happen to them, but also I will never defend Chibi Reviews.
I would never defend a single take he has because his takes are the worst. Anyway, let's see here. Bad One Piece opinion. Zoro's actually not cool and is in fact the lamest Straw Hat. I agree strongly. He is. And that's what makes him cool, is that he's lame. Because I talk about this all the time. The fact that we know Zoro cares about looking cool makes all of his cheesy one-liners 100 times more endearing.
I know. I remember it was like Little Garden where he's trying to pose up, like when he's getting turned into a statue. It's like, well, I want to look cool once I'm a statue.
And that literally makes it so every time Zoro says a cheesy cool guy line, you know that in the back of his head, he's like, that sounded badass. And it makes him so much more of a funny little guy. And I
know, like, the Gen Xers are throwing this term around now, aura farming. That's literally Zoro. That's what Zoro lives for.
Zoro is constantly trying, like, actively attempting to.
It's like, oh my god, that was a cool attack, Zoro. That tornado will chase you down to the ends of hell. It's like, well, that's cool. That's cool line, Zoro. Wow.
Let's see here. I'm hoping that giants are more analogous to the Balkan states in terms of their bigotries. Maybe. I'm not smart.
Yeah, that's going over my head. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not smart.
Let's see here. Just someone being happy we went over their long ass comment. Oh, here we go, Puff. Here's the big comment. I heard you guys say you used to be on Amino in the past video.
Oh no!
What was discussion like there? Oh. And also, were the sex pest DMs as bad as I've heard? So here's the thing, Miracle. We as a bunch of minors on Amino ended up becoming friends with each other, and that like saved us from like all of the creepy ass predators.
Yeah.
Are the sex pest DMs as bad as you've heard? Yes. They're so like. Here's the thing: we, as dumb kids, made a game out of it. We're like, "Yo, I got 3 this week. Let's fucking go." We were insane. And no, the thing that made me the most sad, Puff, is when I transitioned to my awesome era where I was editing Arissa PFPs every week. I stopped getting DMs. People didn't think Arissa was hot, and it made
People,
me so.
that's the weird thing. People want like a sexy profile pic to match when they're.
No, literally, when I stopped having hot PFPs, people stopped PMing me, and it made me so sad. I know. So no.
All right. There's one other thing. There's
No
one other thing.
child
One
should
other
be
thing
on there.
about the DMs. Like this was one. This was not a sex pest. I'm pretty sure this was someone as young as I was when I was on the app. But I remember I got a DM from this like Robin like role player. It said like, "Hey Brooke, can I call you daddy?" And at first I played along for it a bit, like yo, but then it got really hot and heavy real quick, and I was like, okay, I'm actually uncomfortable now. I don't want to be here.
No,
And I dipped immediately.
No, genuinely, no child should be on Amino. No child should be on that fucking app.
No.
No. It was bad. Like I met all my friends there, and that's good. But no, that was a horrible app. And then what was discussion like there? I think partially because of us, we actually really fucking pushed for actual discussion.
Dude, I was every time I made like a big blog, I got onto the feature page and I'd be like, yeah, cool man. Like a lot of my early One Piece videos are just me adapting different blogs I made.
Yeah, and I also made a bunch of blogs. I would make a blog about my opinions every week, and they would range from dumb bullshit to like, fuck it, I'm gonna actually try this week. And yeah, like Amino is where Puffin is stupid to say. It's where Puff and I learned good analysis.
Yeah, because people didn't understand the Luffy versus Kata curve, and I was like, all right, this is my war. This is my hill to die on.
I'm pretty sure
this fight was kicked ass.
I'm pretty sure the place is dead now, as it should be. But when we were there, a lot of discussion. Oh, a lot of fucking racists. It was awesome. Puff, I think the funniest one is every once in a while a guy would just randomly out himself as like a Nazi and get banned. But I think the funniest one is there was a guy who was so transphobic that he rage quit because I didn't misgender Kiku often enough. Like I called Kiku she so often, he got pissed and left, which was fucking awesome.
Dude, do you remember the guy with the Dalton profile pic?
No, yeah, that's a guy who randomly outed himself as a Nazi out of nowhere.
I remember, like, we have this one friend, Peppa, who's, like, usually, like, really silent. He's usually, like, a lurker. And this is one of the times where he's like, dog, stop. Dog, stop. Dog, stop. Dog, stop. Just stop. Dog, don't do it. Don't do it. Stop here. Stop here, and I still might have some respect for you.
So basically, I think analysis was only as good as a small friend group of analysis-obsessed debate lords could make it. So pretty bad, but let's see here. I think the notion that Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji each specialize in a certain type of hockey is just wrong. No, it's true. What? It is. Luffy's specialty is conquerors, Sanji's is opposite. First of all, that's just straight up stated in the SBS. But I guess if you're such a purist, you reject the SBS. You can still kind of infer that, because Sanji is clearly best at observation, Zoro is clearly best in armament, and I guess Luffy's probably the hardest one because he's amazing at everything.
I know, like, I guess, like, the idea is that, like I guess you can argue early on, or, like, at certain points, Luffy has better, like, armament or observation than Conqueror's hockey, because it's kind of hard to gauge him. Like, how good is your Conquerors before it's better than, say, Future Sight or whatever? Yeah. Like,
okay, next is a fair enough comment, which is I don't want you guys to change, but I think if you tone down the performative hatred, is what I'm going to call it, towards other creators, but kept everything the same, you'd be one of the most respected One Piece creators. No, we wouldn't. We have like 2,000 subs, but I will say we definitely talk like we're not part of the One Piece community, because we would just name drop and shit on people at the drop of a hat. And admittedly, we have definitely gotten more toxic, and I think a part of that is what we talked about last video. We're running out of big bad opinions, so we just have to go through weekly schlock.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'll fully admit I have a like hate boner for Morj, because I was like, you were supposed to be the chosen one.
No. Our beef with Morj is that he used to be good and now he's bad. Whereas Ohara, I think we praise him just as much as we shit on him, because Ohara is a legitimately good entertainer.
Yeah, no, I keep saying he's a Scorpion.
No, but he's a legitimately good entertainer. Like, in one of his recent videos for an ad read, he put on a terrible costume, a bad voice, and said, "It's me, the Fleet Admiral." Puff and I have never been happier watching
I
Ohara.
know
Oh
that
my
that
god.
you said it. You said the more he acts like Tekking, the happier I become.
Yes. No, but genuinely, I do think Ohara is an extremely entertaining person. Next, Pell and Pound are inexcusable because they were born to die. What? If you're planning your story out in advance, aren't a lot of characters born to die? Anyway, I think Pagaya, Bonclay, and Kinemon are bad because they cheapen the trust in Oda. Pagaya, who fucking cares? Bonclay, he still lost a whole bot. And then Kinemon, I never thought he was dead in the first place, fuckers. So I just don't
Well,
agree
like
with
I
your
think
claims.
I kind of get the whole it makes Oda lose credibility because then when he actually tries to pull off a death,
Yes.
some people might not feel like say
No,
Pedro.
I think the biggest
Some people
example is
still
current.
aren't unsure of whether or not Pedro's coming back or not. So like that is
No,
kind of like
no,
a
I think the biggest one currently is we literally don't know if Big Mom and Kaido are dead. That one's weird. But then no, I will defend Pedro. How the fuck did people who thought Pedro was alive? You can't blame Oda for your own stupidity. He blew himself up off screen. Sparrow looks down in the middle of the crater and says, "Piece of shit took off my arm."
well
That man is
it's
dust.
again like it's
No, I
possible
no, I will never accept
if
any
Oda
fucking theory
wants
for
to bring
Pedro.
him if Oda wants to bring him back, there's nothing we can't stop him from him bringing Pedro
But
back
I
if he
don't.
just
But I think
decides
if
to.
Oda ever planned on being Pedro back, he would have made his death more ambiguous. Because Pedro has an extremely unambiguous death.
What if some Delphi user like teleported him out or something?
Yeah,
Huh?
Van Auger saved him. Sure,
Yeah,
fuck it.
yeah. Van Auger said like
Van
again,
Auger
they
ripped
you.
the bomb off and TP'd away. Sure, that happened. Why the fuck not? Also, Morj didn't say Peoples forgot Saul's death. Are you also in Morj's paid for Patreon? Because that's where that quote came from. Let's see here. Olvia and Clover didn't get shot. Yes, they did. Like, the shot didn't kill them. Okay, this is more just, even though Morj said the logistics don't matter, he and his fans still love arguing the logistics. Fuck off. Um, I'm still baffled at the hate boner for Morch on this show. Oh, Puff, this is the guy where when I looked into him, he made a comment saying liking fairy tale is like thinking you could become a woman. So this guy's just a stupid transphobe. So,
Oh, okay. Well, is that really
dumbass.
grounds to dismiss him though? I mean, like just because he's
I
wrong about
give, but
some
it's
things
grounds to
doesn't mean
insult him.
he's wrong about everything, Cheeky.
But
Come on,
it's grounds to insult
we gotta
him.
be like
It's
fair
grounds
and
to
balanced
insult
about this,
him.
man.
It's grounds to call him a fucking idiot. Puff, you're saying that, like, Puff, would you care if the guy on your last main channel, the eugenicist on your last main channel video, would you care if he started arguing about something else? Because I wouldn't. um, anyway, how you hone in on one or two bits like literary standard to portray the guy as a know-it-all. Morge portrays himself as a know-it-all. Morge brings up the rules of storytelling and literary standards all the fucking time. Literally, his thesis of Saul's thing is that no respectable literary standard would accept a death like this. That is his thesis. He portrayed himself that way. Don't blame us for making fun of him. And then it goes without saying that reversing consequences in a story, especially death, is not condoned without a good reason. By who? What do you mean good reason? What do you mean condoned? Fuck off. It's pedantic as hell to get into the weeds of it. Morge is begging us to get into the weeds of it because he makes hard rules that can be easily debunked. It's his fault for presenting himself that way.
Like again, the plot he's made the plot graph his best friend, and I don't think that was a good decision
Oh,
on
and
his
all of
part.
his plot graphs are always god awful. Let's see here. It's pedantic. I think the premise itself is valid, and every rule is there to be broken for a good reason. I think rules are just bullshit in general. Like they're good to teach to literally like entry level people who don't know anything, but ever bringing up a rule being broken as a criticism is innately stupid. Don't
Because
bring up rules. Just say why you don't like it. You fucking clown.
again, like you could say that the birth of good paneling broke rules because like wait, why aren't you just like doing normal squares? You have to make it clear for the people to
Yeah,
follow from first to second.
it's
Well,
fucking
why?
stupid.
Yeah, no, like again, like every time a rule is established that makes breaking the rule meaningful in some way.
Or like
Like
a
I
lot of rules have gone to meaninglessness. For example, it used to be deconstructive to portray dark colors and demon. This is in like Christian-esque storytelling. Portray dark colors and demons and stuff like that as positive, and to portray order as oppressive. But now we've gone through so much fucking storytelling that both are completely neutral. You could read a story where the pristine white coats are great guys, and you could read a story where the pristine white coats are the most evil motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah, like
Because
possibly
any
at
rule
one.
there disappeared with time.
I know, this might not be like the perfect timeline for this, but like imagine like pre Berserk, characters wearing black were always the bad guys. Post Berserk, a lot of people loved Berserk so much they made their main character wear black. It's kind of like that.
It just doesn't mean
That's a
anything.
simple way to think about that.
Like obviously, Puff's not saying that's real timeline. It's not.
I know that's not a real timeline, but like imagine stuff like that happening over like hundreds of years of people telling stories. Like that's what's
and
happening.
then I think this is just him being dumb because he said, "We know Saul woke up in the water near Ohara, and no one saved him." I'm not saying Kuzan saved him. I'm saying it's suspicious that the guy who never fucking kills anyone when he freezes them froze a guy that didn't die. That's fucking suspicious. um, and then also, oh Puff, here's the most insane thing he commented. Um, Oda revived Roshio because he redeemed Bellamy, and he didn't want to make Bellamy a senseless murderer. Yes, Duval was a full-on slaver, but that's less than murder than Oda's logic.
But like,
first of all,
no,
Zoro has Zoro's admitted to murder.
Yeah,
And
Zoro's
it's
killed
not
people. Robin's
Yeah,
killed people.
Zoro's
Like Robin introducing herself to the crew was like, I used to be an assassin,
Yes.
and everyone loves Robin. Everyone. She's one of those beloved characters he's ever written.
Yes. So the idea that like Oda treats slavers as less bad than murderers is like, hey, dude, who's treated as more evil? Roshio the Executioner or the Celestial Dragon? Tell me with a straight fucking face that's Roshio the Executioner. That's the other thing. It's not senseless murder. Like, Bellamy killed Roshio for a petty reason, but his name is Roshio the Executioner. I'm willing to bet that guy was fucking evil.
Well, listen, titles are meant to be dismantled in One Piece, Shiki. He could have been a decent dude.
Why did Oda bring Roshio back? I don't know, but it's funny. Like it's just funny. It's funny that like Puff seeing Roshio there would be like it feels like going through like a family album and it's like your missing uncle reappears. It's like what the fuck? I'm glad Roshio's back, basically. Because like it doesn't take away from what Bellamy did. Bellamy still destroyed a city block and brutalized the guy because he beat him at cards. Bellamy still did that.
Again, like I'm gonna straight up, I don't give a shit that Roshio's back or not. He's like the last character I think anyone should care about whether they come back
he's
or
a
not.
non-character. A lot of people reading One Piece won't even notice he's alive.
Yeah.
I just noticed and thought it was funny because it is.
Like again, there's a ton of bad fake out deaths in One Piece. I don't think Roshio's a particularly real example. I don't think he's a real example.
Next, Daffy Duck Guy made a really long comment that I already read. A lot of it is basically just him pointing out the fact that what if some of the other people who fled Wano, instead of going to the East Blue, had kids and their descendants are the Admirals?
I think that
I don't care about any of that because, like, it's just trying to create an in-universe explanation for why the Admirals are clearly Japanese, and it's like I don't need an in-universe explanation.
Oh yeah, again, like I was saying, that could be fun because all of them are supposed to be based off Japanese actors. So like, if you want to explain why they all look like some of the most Japanese people, that could be fun. That could be.
Yeah, I think this is more of like a theory that would never get confirmed because it doesn't matter. Because, like, why does Sakazuki look Japanese? Because Oda wanted to base him on an actor he liked. Do we need an in-universe explanation? No, he just looks like that.
I imagine that if any are ever going to be confirmed for that, it would be Fujitora. Because, like, again, like, he's the blind samurai. He's the blind samurai, so, like... he could I remember there was like a lot of he's from Wano theories, like, oh, he blinded himself because like he saw what Kaido was doing to the place and it like thought he was the worst thing ever. Like, that's possible, I guess.
But then I think it turns into an actual theory. Let's see here. Let's see here. Borsalino is too old, 3 years old, to be from the group that left Wano. Maybe he descended from other immigrants. We'll have to assume more left. Plus, he's the only one that doesn't have a Japanese name since Borsalino is Italian. But I think it's safe to say he's not part of the other group. However, in one of your videos, you guys write up that no one really asks where the Navy originates from. I think that their origin will be related to Wano because they're Yakuza motifs.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
like
about
that.
that because like it's implied that like the Wano was fighting some outside force like when Ryuma was alive, and
Presumably the Navy.
and I presume that that was the world government or what was the world government during the
Yeah,
back in the day.
like
So I imagine the Navy would have already been like a thing
I
like back
think the
then.
two Navy theories are it was originated in the ancient kingdom and then it kept existing under new rule with the world government,
Now I wouldn't
which
say
could
ancient kingdom.
symbolize.
I think like you mean the Void Century, right? Because ancient kingdom would have meant that they like betrayed the ancient kingdom and joined the 20
No,
kingdoms.
no, 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 no. Yeah, I was about to explain that. God damn it. No, what I was gonna say is either A, they're from the ancient kingdom, literally. Yes, I'm saying that, and maybe once the ancient kingdom fell, they joined the 20 kingdoms. And the reason I say that might be interesting is because that could symbolize how the revolutionaries don't want to dismantle the Marines, just who's controlling them. Um, or more likely, I think this is definitely more likely, they were created by the 20 kingdoms.
Yeah. Like it's easy to imagine that like when the 20 kingdoms went to war with the ancient kingdom, they just made a coalition army and then like maybe that is what the Marines are now.
Yeah, anyway, his end goal of that is I think this will lead to Sakazuki claiming Pluton. His tensions with the Celestial Dragons reach a breaking point where he splits, seeking to implement martial law and navy rule, blah blah blah. Sakazuki will reveal to have knowledge of Pluton being in Wano due to being an immigrant. Marineford highlighted that Sakazuki can use his powers to burrow through the earth, so he's got the perfect power to retrieve Pluton. He's gonna kill himself. He is going to flood that cave and die.
I think it's super like fun idea and like really likely that Sakazuki like tries to make a faction of the Navy go rogue against the world government because he's sick of their shit. I think that's possible and would be super cool.
Oh wait, the last part of your comment's just wrong here, dude. I'm pretty sure Caribou is lying off his ass to teach. Unless he's lying to teach for a greater scheme. Caribou's not lying. He knows where two ancient weapons are.
No, that is true. He's seen
He just does.
Shirahoshi. He's heard Robin talking with King Neptune about Shirahoshi, and then like tried to kidnap Shirahoshi, and then Pluton. He I forget where did he first hear about Pluton. Was it in the
Someone in Wano.
yeah somewhere in Mono he learned about? Was
Yeah.
it the prison mines?
Maybe that may have been where. Anyway, and then the next is he brings up a funny one though. He says, "Okay, what if we parallel when Teach asked for a battleship and then he didn't get it because Sakazuki showed up? Teach wants to get the ultimate battleship and then he can't get it because Sakazuki shows up. That's funny.
That
That's
is
funny as
really
fuck.
funny. It's like,
That's
yo,
hilarious.
boys, we found Pluton! And Sakazuki's sitting on top. It's like, run away! Abort, abort, abort!
That part's phenomenal. That's the best part of your theory. That's a fucking 11 out of 10. I hope to God that happens. That's an innately fire idea.
Boss, I'm calling in about that Pluton mission. I can't get it. The Magma Man's on it. What do you mean the Magma Man's on it? How'd he get there?
So yeah, that part's phenomenal. And that's it for comments on this.
Yeah.
We can talk about a few small things on your new Puff the Pirate video, though.
Yes, the main channel, because there's some fun ones. I made like the stupidest video I did in a long time, because it was just like, fuck it, why don't I just do this? I can make this in like...
Gave up and made an official Sanji.
Yes, I was like, fuck it, I can make this in like less than a week, and I actually did.
First comment that we dislike. Well, I think it's going to be kind of repetitive because we've talked about this before. I want Sanji's fire legs to be something he did. If it's elemental hockey or some devil fruit-like ability, then it's something Sanji achieved on his own. You guys are already overcomplicating it. It's his emotions. That's what it is. And like, again, for the millionth time, you even brought this up in the video. Everyone can summon fire.
Yes.
It's normal.
There's no reason
You're
to
gonna
be
tell me-
suspicious of Sanji in particular.
Yeah, but also there's just like, again, other weird superhuman powers. Like the Hoppo Navy have a technique where
Well,
they
I mean,
attack with
I think the
shockwaves.
Hoppo Navy, like, that's kind of implied to be hockey-based. Possibly.
How
I
the
think...
fuck does that work?
because...
It's shockwave.
Yeah, I know, but, like, it was like, oh, it's like Ryu or something, or, like, some version of Ryu.
I don't think that doesn't act
Cause
the
like the
same
thing, cause
way.
like the thing is like when Sai like unlocks his drill, like when his leg earns the name Drill Dragon, it's because like he did a cool hockey kick against Shinjao, and like he only uses the Drill Dragon when he uses hockey on his leg. So possibly this is some
But the
like
drill
hockey
dragon
thing.
doesn't seem to be the same as the stupid armor piercing technique, so I don't know
I
about
thought it
that.
was just a really cool, super awesome version of the armor piercing
And
technique.
I guess
Like
maybe
I
we'll
think
see.
like the six powers and then like humans learning Fishman karate are just better examples.
Oh, those are good examples too.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of dumb bullshit.
Yeah.
There's so much dumb bullshit. And
Remember,
yeah, a good
Zoro
example you brought
doesn't
up.
just throw sword slashes. He makes literal tornadoes.
Yes, he learned how to. Yeah, in Skypiea, Zoro learned how to cut the air, which makes flying slashes. What the fuck does that
All right,
mean?
but whatever. That's an anime trope. Whatever. But then he makes a literal tornado that perpetuates and keeps going long after he's done the attack. And it's like, well, how do you explain that now? How do you explain that? You can't. That's
Yeah,
not
that's just
physics.
dumb magic.
That's not physics. That's literally magic. That's wacky martial arts.
Yeah, it's just guys. People in One Piece are weird. How do you not know this yet? Oh, also, fucking Paint Girl from Little Garden.
Oh yeah, I know. She just does hypnosis with paint.
She just can. Let's see here. Someone brought up something funny with the raid suit, which is that it's fireproof. So one of the main
Wait.
aspects
You
of the
know,
raid suit.
I'm kind of anticipating a comment like this, where someone will say, "Well, all these wacky powers were early on in the series, but then we're slowly gonna just give them explanations as we go along." Here's a recent example of a character just having wacky powers for no reason. Ninjas. They can just make shadow clones. They can just make illusions. That earlobe guy can just move his earlobes and move them like whips. They can just like summon things from summoning scrolls. Like Raizo summons a shit ton of water from a summoning scroll. There's some paralysis jutsu that they do. Like the wacky powers with no explanations are still like around. They've never left.
Oh, someone was cooking. Someone said that Pearl is a Lunarian because he was introduced with Flame's superhuman defense, and a special body shape.
Dude, this kind of makes sense because when Sanji kicked him and gave him the nosebleed, his fire was off, meaning he was in speed mode.
Yeah, that makes sense. Speed mode is how Pearl moves at all with that big strong armor.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway, here's the insane one. Someone made a fun comment where they're like, "Hey, magic mushrooms? What if that ties into some funny theories? Haha, that's a funny idea."
Yeah.
And then at the end they add, by the way, it's weird that people bring eugenics into One Piece. And then someone responded with a very racist comment with lines such as, Japan is from an island that got their shit rocked in recent history. Eugenics isn't as evil as it is portrayed to be. Human suffering is. Multiculturalism is a beautiful idea, but the reality is globalism and homogeneism. Uh, Homogeneism? I don't think that's the right way to say that word. Whatever. Anyway, and then they said One Piece isn't about great political insights. To which Buff I responded with, I just quoted them. Eugenics isn't the evil it's portrayed to be. And then they responded with, because eugenicists, get this, guys, are fucking stupid. Let me ask you a serious question. Are you married? If so, did you marry the ugliest person you have ever seen? If not, will you marry the ugliest person I can find for you? If no to either, congratulations. You are practicing eugenics. That's not what eugenics means. Eugenics is about fucking trying to get like better fucking gene pools and DNA to pass on. Like what he's implying, or I don't know, it's Moe posting Chad. This is a man. What he's implying is that when he looks at a hot woman, what's going through his head is, of course, if I fuck this hot woman, my kids will be hot.
Like again, like I'm not looking at like people don't marry attractive people because I looked at your spreadsheet and you're like likely to have like good like illness resistance or some shit. They're like, no, that's hot, and I want to fuck a hot lady. That's kind of
hotness.
like I get that. I get that. Like I get that. Like monkey brain attractiveness like implies certain things. Like having wide childbearing hips means they make a good mate or whatever.
Except not everyone is into wide childbearing hips, so there's that.
Yeah, exactly. Like some people like much wider childbearing hips.
No, like here's the funny thing. Even if I don't want to have kids with the like fuck it, Puff. I am very open to adoption. I would happily marry a smoking hot woman, never have kids with her, and adopt someone. What does that make me?
Well,
Like the
clearly,
smoking hot,
clearly
like
it
the
makes
point
you a
of a
cuck. Clearly it makes you a cuck because you didn't have a biological kid, obviously.
no. The funny thing is like
Silly
the
Shiki.
point of the hot woman isn't because I want hot kids. The point of the hot woman is because I like looking at the hot woman. Which feels obvious.
And like again with their first like comment, just like, oh, One Piece is about like real politics. Dog, I'm not even talking about politics. I'm talking about like this is a show for babies. Hey, diversity is cool and good. Don't make fun of people for looking
Yes.
different or weird. That's the level we're on here when I'm talking about this shit. I'm not.
And also, if you disagree with those politics, you are a fucking monster. um, if you disagree that fucking diversity and anti-eugenicism is bad, you are a fucking lunatic.
Oh god, and you know, like we're just talking about like in universe within the universe of One Piece. So far, eugenics has been used as a tool by the world government and like Germa to make soldiers to fight wars and kill people and die for their sake. So like
And
it's both an injustice to the people they are they are cloning and the people they're sicking their clones on.
Mhm. Oh, and also in real life, the groups who like eugenics are also the most evil groups you can think of.
There
Um,
might be like
anyway,
a the certain sect of good ones where it's like, well, I just want us to like prevent illnesses, man. I want to actually look at the spreadsheets of who has good illness
I mean,
resistance.
you say that, but then your end result is still fucking evil. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, remember in One Piece when people could have wacky hypnosis or fire power? Someone said that, and someone replied, "Yep, I sure remember when Oda used to be better and the story didn't suck. Hockey ruined everything." Do you remember when Hockey overrid magic mushrooms and fire powers?
It hasn't yet. Like maybe it will in
It
the
hasn't.
future, but it hasn't yet.
Well, it won't override wacky mushrooms unless that was a hockey mushroom. Because living things can have hockey. That mushroom was full of hockey.
No, no, dude. It's like you know like a Shusui like Ryuma's sword. Someone did that to a mushroom, and then when you eat the hockey infused mushroom, you then get a like a devil fruit. That
Yeah.
all
No,
devil fruits
dude,
are.
no, dude, no, no, Puff. The hypnosis is a form of conqueror's hockey. You're conquering their brain. Funny. Um, someone said a funny comment because it ended with like, you're just as bad as the people you criticize if you reject their theories as bad and wrong and yours is good. But it's
Don't
like,
both sides this, brother. My point is
yeah,
that
it's like,
like I know I'm gonna sound arrogant when I say this, but I just understand the story better than them. I'm just making better points than them. I am just using the manga as proof better than they are.
no, because the thing is just One Piece. No, because the thing is just Sanji Lunarian is just objectively illogical by the stuff we've seen.
Yeah.
Someone said Usopp's grandparents have giant and
This is
dwarf
wait,
boy.
wait, but this
Fuck
was
yeah.
yeah, no, I remember this was like one of the first times I got into a real like comment argument with like Sanji Lunar. It wasn't about Sanji Lunar, it was just Sanji's fire powers must come from Germa, like back when Whole Cake Island was like
Mhm.
almost over, and I was just like no. For these and these reasons, and then said, "Well, what's wrong with being creative? Why are you stomping on my creativity?" And I'm like, "But I just want to talk about the story I like while using evidence from the text. I'm sorry, I'm stomping on your
Yeah.
creativity, but I
Yeah,
just want
yeah,
to."
no, like literally most theories we say I don't believe it, but cute idea, or I don't believe it, but and it probably won't happen, but you do you. Like literally the only theories I get actively mad at are ones that like I hate Randy Troy's theory because it spits in the face of themes that I love. Um, whereas like otherwise no, like the part of Randy Troy's theory where he's like Yorkie is like if we ignore the part where he thinks Yorkie fucking Nyan makes Luffy's relationship with Brook sweeter, remove that. The mere idea of Yorkie landing on Amazon Lily and fucking Nyan is hilarious.
Yeah, that's just like, all right, sure, yeah, fun
It's
fanfic,
like
you know, fun
Yorkie's
fanfic.
magical misadventures.
He got lost on his way back to his home island.
Yeah. All of that innately funny. So just yeah, just like a theory can be so like guys, we all agree a theory can just be straight up wrong, right? Like you know, unless you acknowledge the fact that an author could retcon it in, you have to be willing to admit that a theory can just be wrong by what we know about the story.
Yes.
Like, if someone had a theory that Ace is secretly alive, I would say no. Actually, it's so stupid. I'd probably say fuck yeah. But if a lot of people believed that Ace was still alive, I would say no, you idiots.
Like it'd be like, well, here's my evidence for the theory. You see, the way Moria's shadow fruit works is that he takes like he plucks a shadow out of a cloud, and it might be the soul of someone who died, and then he'll put that in a zombie. It's like, no, that's not how his powers work. You just misunderstood how Moria's power works to prove your theory. I reject your theory.
Yeah, that's it.
This is another fun one. If Sanji's fire is from his emotions, why did he only unlock stronger fire when he got a stronger body, not a hotter passion? Also, thought that the author said definitely that Sanji's passion was hotter than flame and that his fire didn't burn him, but blue flames can't hurt him? Cut to Lucci with an ice cloud because my heart is colder than ice, or Lost shooting lasers because the brightness of my mind is brighter than any light.
First of all, those Lucci and Law ideas are objectively fire.
Absolutely, I agree with them. He put them in to try and make a joke out of it, and like, yes, that's just fire. I want them the story now.
And then as for his question about Sanji, I think if you have to read it hyper literally, because again, the emotion shit is like innately kind of funny. Sanji's emotion fireproof defense wasn't enough to protect him from blue fire. He needed that and the Germa body. And then the implication there is Sanji's been able to make blue fire for, I guess, a while. Like, he made it once. He's like, oh, fuck, my leg's burning off. What the hell? And he's like, all right, we'll keep that in the back burner. That's it.
Yeah. All right. We have
anything to prelude to for next week? What the fuck are we even doing next week?
I don't know what we're doing next week.
Hey guys, what should we do next week? Guys, help! We don't have any ideas.
All right. I actually have an idea. Okay, so I'm actually planning like a Ginjo video soon for the main channel. It might get done sooner than I think it does, because it's relatively short compared to the other Bleach videos I made. And I think it would be fun to do a good Bleach opinions video, because I just remember getting a lot of good comments on my Bleach videos, mainly my Bankai one, because that one kind of blew up.
Yeah.
So I thought
you got like 70% good comments. 30%, how dare you call that Bankai filler, you bastard. It's more canon than the manga, goddammit.
So like
those are like the two types you got.
I know, like, I also got like a idea for like a bad Bleach opinion in like the last fairy tale video. So like maybe we can also put some bad opinions in there too. So like if you just have like Bleach,
we might just make another Bleach video.
Yeah, if you have Bleach stuff that you think it would be fun to talk about, either like I'm gonna be honest, I respect Bleach theory culture a lot more than I do One Piece theory culture. So if you have a fun sounding Bleach theory, hit me with it. I'm down.
And then just give us video ideas in general. I'll be honest, we don't have much planned out at the Puff. We don't even have another power bottom idea in mind. Oh yeah, no, we don't. We have like two maybes with Naruto and Seven Deadly Sins, but those are both hard maybes. So again, Seven Deadly Sins hurts so much because it's like, all right, here's this amazing cake. It tastes like absolutely amazing, but also it'll give you terrible diarrhea if you eat it. Do you want to taste the cake now? I'm like, I wish you didn't tell me about this cake. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Oh god. Also, there's the main reason we can't make that video, Puff. We would break any comedy that button may have. I know we do. I literally have to just take it off the soundboard to stop myself from using it 10 million times. All right. That's every time we say Meliodas' name, every time we bring up Bond, anytime we bring up King, anytime we bring up Meliodas' like half, not fake brother angel. There's so many characters in there. There's so many. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. Goodbye. Like and subscribe. We're gone.